Welcome. Happy full moon in Cancer. We actually got a chance to gather together live on an actual full moon. And it feels good. It feels important. It feels right. Hello, Dustin. We'll just give it a few moments for some people to come onto the chat so we can, oh, you know what? Oh, never mind. It's fine. I don't need them. So we can really dive into this energy and have a better understanding as to the growth, where we've been, where we're heading, where we're going. What does that say? Remember? Okay. Hello, Soul Plasma. Welcome, welcome. Happy full moon in Cancer. How are you guys feeling? I'm curious because this is the energy of Cancer Capricorn, honoring our emotions, trusting our emotions, feeling safe. Cancer energy is all about the need to feel safe and protected, and while we are going deep into our feelings. I did write some notes, and I actually pulled out my astrology notes from class too, in case I needed it, because I saw a little icon I drew. Cancer is ruled by the moon. So we are in the moon's home sign of this giant full moon. It's not necessarily a super moon, although it's big enough, it's powerful enough, and it's packed with a lot of lineups and alignments that are serving us for our greatest good, whether it feels that way or not, depending on where you are and what you're experiencing in the journey. But the moon, the Cancer energy, the moon aspect of the Cancer energy is that we understand, what is it? I have to read it now. Part of our sense of self is available to us, while another part of it is in a shadow. Now, this full moon is highlighting what has been in its shadow, and there's so many other aspects to support this, so I'm going to just go through it quickly, and feel free to chime in. And hello, everybody. So glad to see you. I'm a little disheveled today, so I've been just sort of under the weather a little bit or something. There's definitely was an energy last night that came in and sort of swept over me, but I'm okay. Getting back to the moon though, full moon, Cancer full moon, it's about trusting our intuition. It is self-care, self-nurturing, emotional honesty, being able to be real, raw, and honest with ourselves about what we're feeling and our emotions. Honoring our emotions, nurturing our emotions is easier said than done for many, for most, especially when we have a lot of it, of our the depth of our emotions, our core wounds, stored in the subconscious, hidden in the shadow. And we'll go into the Neptune aspect of this, that at the end of Pisces, working with Saturn, but Neptune is the collective unconscious. It is that which has been hidden from us coming to the forefront. So we are really completing the zodiac, the 12th house. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. Thank you, everybody. So this moon is asking us to listen, trust, listen to our intuition, to finally feel safe enough to go deep into our feelings and honor them and act on our behalf as far as how we're feeling. New behaviors, new patterns of behavior that may have been set in motion back in 2020 are really starting to unfold, and we're starting to recognize when we get pulled into something that was tempting us into, old behaviors, old habits, old ways of thinking and being and believing that just is more or less self-sabotaging. Because of the Jupiter Chiron aspect, we're having a lot of these things highlighted for this moon to really give us a space. The womb. This also, Cancer, the moon is the womb, the nurturing, the mothering ourselves, giving ourselves safe space. Hello from Australia. Beautiful last night, says one little drop in the ocean. Now we have on the other side, on the opposing side of the moon, is the Capricorn aspect. We have the Sun, Mercury, Mars, and Venus all in Capricorn. We have a stellium in Capricorn. Mars and Venus are working towards an exact conjunction. So they are conjunct very tightly to the Sun, opposing. Hello from Dubai. I'd love to come to Dubai. Maybe one day I will be I'll be able to do that. So with the moon, the moon working with Jupiter. Jupiter's also in Cancer. We're finally starting to understand some things about ourselves that we couldn't understand before. That our emotions are super important. They are the driving force of everything that we experience, consciously and unconsciously. Jupiter's also in a trine to the North Node, sextile to the South Node, so our past, our future are really playing in effect here. And we'll talk about the South Node for a moment. South Node in Virgo, this moon conjunct Jupiter, really hitting an aspect that is helping us to let go of overthinking, of having to prove ourselves, of overworking, of worry, of doubt. While the trine to the North Node in Pisces is opening us up to more hope, more faith in the unknown, the unseen, the spiritual aspects, in miracles. This is also helping to heal the guilt, the regret, the past. So we'll go into some of that in just a moment, but let's get into what Capricorn represents with the Sun, Mars, Venus, and Mercury. Capricorn is all about our foundation, and many of us have had our core foundation, whether it's your physical body, whether it's your home, your work, our foundation of what holds us here in safety and protection, in boundaries, maybe swept away or having a renovation or remodeling. So we are in the very beginning stages of creating and building a solid foundation for ourselves based on honoring our emotions instead of based off of the old rigid, the old belief systems, the old programs on how it's supposed to be, how everybody else is doing it, on, the responsible thing to do, even though it doesn't feel right type of thing. So those are the opposing forces to this moon. We're going to add Jupiter in the mix with the moon in a square to Chiron. Chiron is the deepest depths of our core wounds and the things that we've experienced most likely in younger years that have manifested over and over again in our journey of life, bringing up wounds, traumas, insecurities, doubts, worries. Chiron stationed direct yesterday. And so there's a forward movement. There's more movement, a shift in that energy. It's really helping us to overcome and heal our traumas, our fears, our pain, our insecurity, and gaining much wisdom while we are organically. And this isn't being fixated on, I got to heal, I got to fix. This is naturally occurring. If you're really paying attention and allowing yourself the time, nurturing yourself to really go deep within whenever something arises or triggers you, instead of projecting outward, blame, asking yourself, what is this showing me? What is this helping me to heal from? Acceptance is huge with healing the Chiron wound. When we can finally get to a place that I accept that it happened, things in the past happened. Some of us many have had so many really traumatizing and horrific things happen. They're hard to accept that it actually happened, and they get kind of pushed to the side, and the mind builds a story. There's a whole, I won't go into all of that, but this is allowing us room and space to accept. A lot of Chiron over here, says Soul Plasma. Yeah, a lot of Chiron. I've noticed that too. I've noticed that with myself and with some family members as well. It depends on, your journey, your birth chart, but yeah, some are getting hit harder than others with the Chiron. But really it's helping us to have acceptance of whatever happened in the past, and honoring the emotions, allowing yourself to be angry, to cry, to have the emotional release in a nurturing and safe space. These wounds, when we allow ourselves to accept and release, we begin to trust ourselves again. Many of us haven't had full trust of ourselves, because if we were triggered, our reaction is what takes over. The saying, I see red. So when you get to a space where you can give yourself a day or two after having an emotional blast like that, before making any kind of decision or choices, because we are at a choice point in this this month of January as well. So try not to have any knee-jerk reactions or make any choices or decisions based off of emotional release. One little drop in the ocean says, me too, I've been working on it for years now. Yeah, it usually takes a few years or a lot of years. It could take a lifetime, but we're in a faster motion of energy now. It's really speeding up, and Capricorn, ruled by Saturn, is time. Not necessarily man-made time, but the boundary between point A and point B. There's a gap, there's a space. And so what this Chiron wound is helping us to do, healing the wounds, is trusting ourselves again. It's highlighting the wounds that impact our ability to be independent. Aries, Chiron still in Aries. Assert ourselves, express our needs and desires honestly, and act in alignment with them. It can bring up old pain connected to feeling unsupported or having to solely rely on ourselves, especially during emotionally vulnerable moments. And I think many of us were probably self-soothers from a very young age. I think I was born self-soothing, like sucking my thumb. Literally, I had to be weaned off of thumb sucking before I went into kindergarten, before I went into grade school. I remember that, my mom taking my blankie away, my security blankie. I mean, I was born into this world already knowing I need to self-soothe from something. Um, oh, I'm so sorry, Paula. Well, continue listening. We're here to support and love and honor your journey, everybody's journey. It is tough, especially if somebody, if we feel rejected. That's a Chiron wound. So it's important to not try to get over it, but to honor all of your feelings. Hi, Amy. Honor all of your feelings. Allow whatever arises to arise. I highly suggest writing, journaling, getting it out on paper so it doesn't stay in the mind. There's a lot of key ingredients in there that can show you what this energy is helping you heal from truly. Truly, it goes deeper, it goes further back than this current experience. And I'll put it out there for anybody that is interested. I am open for personal readings or personal one-on-one sessions. Just shoot me an email at bethechange333@comcast.net. And that information is in the description box of the lives, the videos, and my channel. Okay, back to what this is doing for us. So it is highlighting for many the wounds, the pains of having to really solely rely on ourselves, especially during emotionally vulnerable moments. Yeah, the self-soothing. It's important to note, there's a few other things I wrote here before I go into the other aspects here. I do want to say, Dustin, you and I were having a conversation about numbers and dates that we were intuitively picking up. And I did know that January 9th, for whatever reason, was coming to me as being a very important date. So I put it on my calendar just in case. I'm starting to put the puzzle pieces together. Today is January 3rd, the full moon in Cancer. We were talking about 369. Right? January 3rd, the full moon in Cancer, conjunct Jupiter, square Chiron, along with the sun in Capricorn with Mars, Venus conjunct together, and a lot more. January 6th, Venus goes Cazimi, goes into the heart of the sun, conjunction with the sun, starting the next Venus star point. And I will touch on this briefly, but this is a whole nother 8-year cycle that we've been in already. Yes, lighting a candle. I definitely have a candle here as well. So that's January 6th is Venus, starts the star point, Cazimi, the sun. The 9th, Mars, Cazimi, the sun. And what else did I write? Oh, the 6th is also on my calendar. It said Epiphany Day. I'm not really sure what that is, but I'm like, oh, I do remember seeing this in the past. So there may be a lot of eye-opening realizations that come between now and say the 10th or 12th of this month for each and every one of us on this journey. 9th of January is alignment of Earth, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, and 3i Atlas. So that makes sense. 3i Atlas, throw that into the mix. Makes sense. Makes sense. So we'll read into that. We'll tap into that energy for sure. Thank you. One little drop in the ocean. Dustin says, great, Amy, but as soon as live started, I dropped a glass cup full of coffee grinds I used for incense sticks to burn. I've been cleaning the floor for several minutes of glass shards and coffee. Oh, man. Okay. So talking about the Venus star point, and I really highly suggest looking it up, searching it up, because, and even searching up images. I wish I could show you. I don't know. Maybe I have it in here. I used to have the picture, which is beautiful, but Venus she started this last cycle. We're in an 8-year cycle with Venus in the star point. She started it in 2020. So again, going back to 2020, there's a lot that goes back to 2020, the starting point of what we are experiencing now. And she goes in this pattern, and it has to do with Venus and the sun. Every time Venus is conjunct the sun, whether she is direct or retrograde, so she makes this pattern, and it goes into a 5-pointed star or a pentagram. And then the next 8 years, she starts into the next zodiac sign. So it makes this beautiful rose-petaled diagram. And it's beautiful just to like look at it and see what it brings up for you, because Venus is all about love and beauty, but it's also about, in Capricorn, it is about values, what is truly important to building a solid foundation within oneself first and foremost, because whatever we build outside of ourselves, if we aren't solid within, it's like sandcastle. It's like building at the edge of the sea. Once the sea comes in, it washes it away because we aren't solidly structured within ourselves. So, yeah, anything else I wanted to say about that? So that's just something really interesting in the energy of this moon and into next week as well. It is influencing our values. Changes in each of the activated sign mark significant cultural shifts in societal values and trends. We will, by the end of this year, but I'm thinking even the mid this year, we will see a shift in society and societal values and trends for sure. For sure. Now, it's important to note that Mars-Venus conjunction, as well as the moon right now, they're all out of bounds. So they are not in alignment with the sun's elliptical, which is important to pay attention to whenever a planet is out of bounds. Things are out of bounds. There are no boundaries. It kind of gets off track. It can be a little chaotic or out of control. So it's important to stay really present with whatever is unfolding within you and your experience right now, and not getting pulled, sidetracked into what the propaganda out there would love to pull us into. Blame, hate, separation. We're growing closer and closer, consciously growing closer and closer to what's really important, what is of value, love, connection, togetherness, that everybody on the planet has food and shelter, has their basic needs met, that we are here to be able to hold out a hand to our brother or sister, even if we ourselves are struggling with something. It's pulling us out of the paradigm of narcissism, slowly but surely. And not everybody is, we're all in our own journey. So it's not like the entire collective, but a good chunk of the collective is going to be experiencing that. Yeah. All right. So what else did I want to say? Okay. One more thing just to bring up, just to put in your back pocket, because we're still working with Neptune and Saturn in Pisces. Neptune at the very last degree of Pisces, the anaretic degree, the critical degree, the Pisces, the last sign of the zodiac, the 12th house, natural zodiac, 12th house experiences are challenging and confusing, and Neptune is challenging and confusing because it is the collective unconsciousness. It is it is what we cannot see. However, I feel that as Neptune is finishing, and this is the last full moon with Neptune in Pisces that we'll ever experience right now. Once Neptune completes Pisces, we will not see Neptune in Pisces again in our lifetime. So it's pretty big. It's a big deal. And Saturn and Neptune will meet up together in an exact conjunction on February 20th, 0 degrees of Aries. Again, new energy, new shift in consciousness. And Saturn is right there along with Neptune to actually ground that foundation into reality. I hope that makes sense. I know some of my insecurities at times have been that I can kind of go out there and lose people. They're like, I suddenly don't understand a word you're saying. And it's not my job to make sure that everybody understands what I'm saying. I'm understanding that. That is kind of a desire, but it's a how did they say? It is a desire that I'm never going to reach everybody. And so whatever comes out of, whatever channels through me, whatever comes out of my mouth does reach, even if it reaches one person, then my mission is completed, I suppose. So I definitely, if anybody does have questions, feel free to ask. Feel free to ask. So, with all that said, how's everybody doing out there? How are you experiencing the full moon? Anybody want to chime in? I'm not sure what the physical things that I'm experiencing right now, what it's linked to, other than I know that with all of these energies, whenever we get an uptick in any of the water signs, particularly, my sensitivities are extremely heightened. And one of the sensitivities that I've always had and always knew I had, and it's not a pleasant one, is that I feel other people's physical pain. And it's typically people that are really close to me, like family or close friends. And so I've been having been having to nurture my body extra carefully recently. And thank you. Oh, your natal sun is 26 degrees Cancer. Oh, you probably know what I'm talking about then, Amy. Yeah, so like my granddaughter is getting teeth in. I've been having like pains in my jaw and teeth area, and I think I've already talked about this, mouth pain, just the physical sensations that other people are experiencing. I remember when my niece broke her leg. I wasn't with her when it happened, but I was actually getting out of my car to go do a session with somebody, and suddenly I couldn't move out of my car. I had such extreme pain in my leg, and here to find out hours later that my niece had broken her leg, I'm like, oh, are you kidding? Because there wasn't anything wrong with me. But it's not something that stays with me. It comes and it goes. Sometimes it'll radiate for like an hour or so. Other times it's just like a in and an out type of thing. Amy's been sick with the flu for the past few days. Yeah, I woke up this morning feeling like sore throat and really like I'm still probably going to be clearing my throat a lot. It didn't really manifest into what I felt like it was going to when I first woke up this morning, because I felt like, oh no, I picked up something. And most likely I probably did. Because it's that time of year, but I've been nurturing myself, Cancer moon, drinking a lot of dandelion root tea, very helpful, or moringa tea. Very, very helpful. Yeah, everybody stay healthy out there. Yeah, sympathy pain. That's exactly it. It's sympathy pains. Yep. Uh, Dustin says, for me in California, things are calm and people seem positive. I'm grateful for this now. You know, it's interesting because, and again, we do have that mirror effect. So what we're carrying in our field, we are going to see the reflection through others, right? In some way, shape, or form. And I noticed when I was able to get out and try to go for walks, it's been very cold here and snowy. But I went for a walk the other day, and everybody I passed was so pleasant and just like, hello, happy new year. Oh, that's a mention. Happy Gregorian calendar new year to all of you. It becomes more and more difficult for me to get really into any kind of man-made holiday type of thing, with the understanding that none of this has all been created completely out of sync with our nature. We used to follow the moon. We used to follow the moon's cycles for growing plants and food. We used to, the moon, the 13 moon cycles. Women, females, our biological clock, it follows and precedes the moon cycles. And yeah, so really truly the new year, and there's it's up for debate too, but it's typically in the spring equinox. Some would say it's April Fool's Day, and that's why they call it April Fool's, because those who refuse to convert to the new calendar system, which was designed for control and taxes and all of the things that we're still roped into, those who refused to were called fools. Those who saw that April 1st was the beginning of the calendar year, when that shifted, they were called fools. Yeah, the New Year's spring equinox. I believe that too. It feels right, because right now we are in the dead of winter here in the northern hemisphere, where everything, it is a slow down, hibernation, go within type of energy, and not brand new. Spring is new. Things, seeds begin to germinate and sprout. Leaves begin to form on the trees. New birth, new growth. Anyway, happy calendar new year to all of you. That was what I was going to say. One little drop in the ocean, I feel peacefully independent, just doing my thing and being mindful of overthinking, nurturing my inner and outer home. Yeah, and that's exactly good. That is what this energy is very supportive of. So if we are following our intuition, our feelings, our emotions, how we feel, how the physical body even feels, and instead of the insane programs and rat race and overthinking and patterns, notice them, definitely notice them. But yeah, then you're going to be in perfect flow and harmony with this energy. It's only when we're not in harmony or out of alignment with specific energies is when we start to feel the reverberation, just a little knock on the door from the universe saying, hey, we're trying to get you back on track. There's something you're refusing to look at. That's where the deep emotional triggers will happen as well. And unless you're fully aware and understanding of this, you can feel like a victim of circumstances, a victim of life itself. Why do these things happen to me? Sometimes they happen in threes, right? That's happening to a loved one of mine. It's just like one thing after the other after the other. But I also see the flip side of where she is not nurturing herself. She is not listening to her body. She's not listening to her intuition, her innate soul intuition. She's still on the program, on the robotic on the survival, basically our survival instincts from just life itself. Willow Pillow, I'm still in soup and sleep mode. This is not a new year, that's right. I'm still in snake year. We at the end of the tail. That's right. It's not, we're still in the year of the snake, right? That's not until February also, to when it shifts to the horse, the fire horse. So yeah, and that's it, Amy. It's fire horse for 2026. Yep. Sounds fierce. Well, and it's interesting because we are going to be switching gears this year from, the snake is low to the ground. We have had to slow down and get grounded and shed old skin in order for us to grow and evolve. And then we shift to fire horse. that seems like, all right, full steam ahead. So it'll be interesting to see what this year brings, for sure. Do we want to, okay, Divine Feather's calling me first. I just love the energy in this chat. This is amazing. I love you guys so much. I see a lot of things shifting this year as well. As far as how do we say? I mean, we've all been really focusing, hi Granny Paula. We've all been really focusing heavily for well, at least 5 years or longer, many of us longer, on I got to heal this, I got to heal that, I got to work on this, I got to work on that, and we're doing it in such a linear fashion and in the mind, criticizing ourselves, being hard on ourselves, instead of allowing it to organically unfold. And just that knowledge of this is all happening, whatever's happening or going on inside and outside, because as within so without, that it's helping us get back on track, get in touch with our soul and our heart. I lost track of where I was going with that. Oh, so yeah, all of the, shall I dare say, propaganda on healing modalities. Yeah, everything has its purpose and helpful, for sure. When I first started on this journey, the very first thing that's called to me and spoke to me was crystals, which I still love the energy of the crystals, but I don't need them. And at the time I thought, I'm going to become a crystal healer. It was a whimsical experience. It was speaking to me, which quickly diverted to tarot, astrology, all these other things. And I had to sit back and feel like really allow myself to have all those experiences, but nothing was set in stone as being, this is the thing that is going to help all of humanity and is going to help me and all of these things. So what I'm trying to get at is we're really going through a whole new shift in energy that is helping us do the healing work organically, naturally, for how you're designed, how you're built. What heals me is not going to necessarily heal you, and vice versa, right? We can give each other tips on what helps. I know for me, sound and vibration frequency will always help bring me back into the body, bring me back into presence, bring me back into a space of Okay, breathing, focus. I mean, there are always great tools and tips and tricks, but when you're not even in the body, when you're like, when you are seeing red or you're somewhere else, sometimes we have to just let that energy do what it does, give ourselves some grace and space to go through whatever it is that we go through, and to know that it's really actually happening. We're not crazy. It's happening to help us get in touch with the Cancer energy, how we feel, feeling safe enough and trusting ourselves enough to allow the depth of emotion to arise and to show us the way intuitively. So it is all about safety and security and not worrying so much about what other people think or say, because I feel like for many of us now, recognize and realize that most of the people that have judgments and criticisms and think that they know something better than we do, they're not the people that you would even go to for advice to begin with. Right? Yes, that saying, what you resist will persist, is definitely true. Yes, nature, for sure. Nature is probably one of the biggest. I just find it, if I look at it as energy or frequency, I find that getting in nature brings me back to my natural frequency energy, especially with all the artificial energies and frequencies that are surrounding us all the time, right? Hi, Lisa. This full moon helped strengthen my inner knowing, my intuition. Yes. And trusting it. We've always had it. It's just, did you believe it? Did you believe in yourself? Did you trust your intuition, right? We all have intuition, you know? All right. So let's get into a message for us all. What's this first message for us? This is not a time to set out with ambitious goals and I'm going to build a new solid foundation. Right now, that solid foundation, this is coming very strongly, is what's being built inside, internally, right now with this Cancer moon, is to trust and feel safe in nurturing deep emotions that arise from Jupiter square Chiron, from all of this energy of the past that is stirring back up to refresh our memory of what's been still stuck in the shadow, in the subconscious. All right. Being in nature is crucial, absolutely. It makes it difficult when it's cold out and snowy. But actually, I appreciate and I'm grateful for the snow because, and hi Lily Rose, because the snow actually brightens things up and makes it pretty. And it's like, all right, I can bundle up and get outside for a bit because there's snow. But when it's just a gray, cold, damp day, it's like, maybe I'll just look out the window today. We are all nature lovers. That's right. No wonder the chat feels so good. Absolutely. We have Bluebird as the first card out. You are being gifted with blessings of happiness and peace. Let's see what it says in the book. I have not pulled this book out in years. The bluebird flies into your space to deliver the great blessings of peace, joy, and happiness. This messenger reminds you to honor the purity of your speech and communication, especially those messages that especially those messages that you feed to yourself. Anybody notice any like sabotaging ways of thinking still to the self or negative self-talk? Stop it. The lightness and color of Bluebird help make you aware of the spiritual links of the sky and the realms beyond. Invite the tranquility of Bluebird into any area of life that could use more lightness. Then share the energy of Bluebird with those around you. Have you forgotten the simple pleasures of life? Bluebird is here to remind you that it is okay to let go and fly for sheer pleasure. As you do, feel the weight of your life lifted and soar higher up into the blue sky. Yeah. I'm also hearing it's time for us all to lighten up. There's been some heavy duty energies that we traversed through in 2025 specifically. And those energies are not gone, but we don't have to get swept up into them. And use this time of the year, to, that slow down pace, to really take stock in the little pleasures in life. When you wake up in the morning, I did this morning actually. I wasn't feeling good. And I said, it would be nice if Cardinal came to visit me just to cheer me up, right? And I started making my tea, and all of a sudden I heard the Cardinal, and I look out my window and I couldn't find it, but then I intuitively knew it's on my bird feeder. The Cardinal is my bird that just like speaks to me loudly. It came to me within like seconds. And sat there on my bird feeder for a while, and it just instantly lit me up, and I started to feel like, okay, I'm so grateful for you. I'm great, like finding gratitude in those little things. Hi, Steph. Let's see what you guys are saying. Hi, Tyler. Yes, Willow Pillow. Yes, time for singing and going in a nature is my guidance, but it's cold outside and my nose is runny. Sometimes, I don't force it, but there are days where I'm like, you know what, Paige, you could just bundle up and get out there for like 10, 15 minutes. And so I did that. I went out to the lake and I actually did walk around. Didn't do my normal walk, but I got around, I walked around, and there were other people that were like, Happy New Year, and happy and pleasant. And I was so glad that I did that because I just had this rejuvenated sense of feeling. Oh, Lisa became a grandma today. Congratulations. It's so amazing to be a grandparent. I'm telling you, it is so amazing. It is. And so welcome to the crone phase of life. Yay. That's great news. All right. My Way X, how can I send you money? Wait, what is that? Oh, hi, Maureen. Thank you. I know here on YouTube they have the supers, the super chat and the super things. You can also check my description box. I give my Venmo information and stuff out. If anybody, again, is looking for a personal reading or session with me, shoot me an email. My email is in the description box as well. And I will send you all the details and the pricing and all that good stuff. So yay, we have a good bunch here. How's everybody doing? So we're being encouraged to lighten up. And even if we've had emotional bursts or blasts, we can come back into our body when that's all done. Not to attach to the narrative or the story that the mind is telling, especially when it's negative self-talk or something. This is what we're really this is the healing of the Chiron wound that is really important. And again, Cancer energy is also nurturing. There could be links to the mother wound that are arising with Jupiter in Cancer and the full moon in Cancer. But I feel that this time around, for many people, it allows you to see what's still stuck in the subconscious, what patterns, what negative stories we tell ourselves because of having to take care of ourselves, or even if it's just emotionally take care of ourselves. And I lost it. It's opening us up for the medicine, the healing. And so when these things arise, it's important to pay attention to how long you hold on to that charge, that emotional charge. Granny Paula hasn't slept in 2 nights. Powerful moon. Yeah, very powerful moon energy. I'm on the opposite of that. I can't seem to get enough. I can't seem to like be awake. All I want to do is sleep. But I'm grateful, and here's where I flip it around. I'm grateful that I have the time, Saturn, Capricorn, and the space, Saturn and Capricorn energy, to give me that grace and that nurturing too. If I need to sleep, I'm going to sleep. If I need to sleep longer. I didn't always have that luxury. As a matter of fact, that luxury, I allowed myself this luxury just more recently. I wasn't even allowing it for myself. For myself. I'm just checking the chat here. All right. I'm going to keep my eyes off of the chat. Thank you, moderators. I think that we should all just so grateful for all of you keeping the chat nice and clean for us all. I really appreciate you. I'm going to get back into it and see what the tarot has to say for us, to us, for all of us. And I really don't have an itinerary here with the live. They just sort of organically flow. That's how I'm most comfortable anyway. I'm not like a routine, rigid, structured person, gal anymore. All right, what is the first message for us, please? Finding happiness and peace and joy in the little things right now goes a long way. Goes a long way. Because whatever is out there that seems, here's the Neptune illusion too, grandiose or extravagant, it's maybe like, yeah, I'd really like that, I'd love to travel the world, all these things, like these big picture Sagittarius energy. It's not what's important right now at all. And actually going into 2026, that having more than one home, all these things, this is not going to be the trend or the popular vote going forward. I can tell you that much. I don't know how long it's going to take, but something's going to give. Something's going to happen that's going to really shift the collective's perspective on what's truly important and of value. And we can look to Venus and the star point for that as well. Yeah, she will complete this star in 2028. So we're all more than halfway through. We're almost done. If you look to the last Capricorn star point, that was 2022. And that was when she was in retrograde. I think I wrote it down. She was in retrograde. So she was in an inferior conjunction. That's when she became a morning star. This time around, she's in superior conjunction. Evening star begins. But last Venus Capricorn star point was with Pluto. And Venus was retrograde. And it was exactly the same time this year, January 6th, 2022. I know for myself, 2022 was a huge, like, mind blown. My whole world came crashing down, or the illusion of what I thought it was. I got a hard hit, big time. Now it recovered. We recovered. But that was all about the foundation that I thought that I was in was the tower moment, complete and utter disarray. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Amy, I just received this vision of fire on water, like when there's a shipwreck and the leaked oil gets set on fire on top of the water. Interesting. Well, Jupiter in Cancer, water, Chiron in Aries, fire. Could be many concoctions like that. Thank you, Dustin. Oh my. I knew there was a reason why I'm not supposed to look up at the chat all the time. Okay. Let's get into it. What is the message for us? We can have a sense of humor and just know that there are definitely people with their wounds right now or their projections. Just have compassion for them. We have the Tower. The Tower in reverse, actually. Interesting. First card out. Okay, they're going back to what I was saying about 2022. And that was a year of the Tower for me, for sure. The Tower in reverse is actually telling me that the reverse effect is actually happening. Because I not instantly, actually I got really, really sick when that happened too. And that was a gift because if I wouldn't have been as sick as I was bedridden for almost 3 weeks. If I would have just kept going with the anxiety and the anger and the this and the that, I would not have had enough time to myself to really sit in and ask the important questions like, what is this truly showing me? And I got to see the mirroring. I got to see that I was being shown the fears, the subconscious fears that were within me. And it was deep. They were deep, deep-seated fears of abandonment, of persecution, of just all these old wounds. And so I was able to work through them and come out the other side. Instead of being a victim, which it's turning around, the Tower can really bring us to a state of being victim and playing that role really well I used to play that role really well. I was only victim for the first, I would say, couple of days, and then being really sick. It does something. It brings the vulnerability to the surface and the emotions to the surface. And I was really allowing myself the space and time to feel and understand exactly what it was. So take it as it resonates for you, whether it's happening now or it's something that happened in 2022 or just a prior time in any way, shape, or form. Because the Tower in reverse is telling me that whatever had happened that rocked our world, cracked everything wide open, made changes and shifts within and without us that we weren't able to make on our own. And the gift of that being this higher state of awareness and thank you, Dustin. I had a feeling about that one. I keep getting pulled pulled out of the message that I'm okay, let's go back. Sorry. So the Tower in reverse is almost like no longer a victim of circumstances or experiences, gaining the wisdom, the strength, the medicine to rebuild, feeling confident within ourselves, solid, trusting the intuition, thank you, trusting our emotions, our emotional guidance, and trusting that when it's time to take action or to do something, we are going to know it intuitively, inner knowing, not to be reactive or like responsive off of a tower. This is growth. This is growth. And to have forgiveness for self and for others, to be able to wipe the slate clean, naturally, organically. Start fresh. I'm hearing clean slate over and over and over again. Clean slate. Okay. This is the energy of really helping us get to a nice clean slate so we can start building from a true, solid state within ourselves. What's important? What are our core values? What really speaks to us? Empress at the bottom. Jupiter in Cancer, emotional growth. Yeah. Beautiful. We have the Chariot. So, clean slate. Okay, thank you. The Tower, whatever's rocked us, rocked our world, cracked us open, like tore us down to the core, brought you to your knees. Maybe over and over and over again, because again, who said it? What you resist continues to persist. We are the ones that resist a lot of change or a lot of going within and taking stock on what is still going on within me that is being reflected outside of me. Moving forward through the duality, feeling stronger, feeling safe. They're saying that safety, Cancer, safe and trusting ourselves. Ace of Materials. There's a new beginning on the horizon here. New fresh starts, new opportunities. Something new is being built and created. This time, oh, it's so interesting. We have the Moon in reverse below the Empress. This time, and you know, we all know that the Empress is, well, she's got this depiction of the Empress. She's got all the planets and the solar system and the star within her, which is true. They're not just balls of rock or whatever outside of us. This is communication, influential energies that we are a part of. The Empress is fertile and pregnant with something new, about to birth something new, following intuitive senses, intuition, and emotions, nurturing, loving, compassionate, and caring about self and others and all living beings, plants, animals, everything. Moon in reverse. No longer stuck in illusion. The shadow. The moon in reverse. It's telling us that we're not at the mercy of unprocessed pain, unrecognized, or just not going deep enough into the emotions to allow ourselves to feel things completely. So they stay hidden, they stay in the shadow. In reverse, it's like it's all come out. It may have taken a few, now I'm seeing a washing machine. May have taken a few times around the spin cycle of the washing machine. But eventually we come out purified and clean. Chariots of fire, yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, somebody says Mars. Now, Mars and Venus are working together. They're coming closer in a tighter conjunction. They're working with the sun. They will be both crossing through the heart of the sun in their respected times, the 6 and the 9. We've got 3, 6, 9 energy here. Can't make it up. So that's interesting. Let's see what other messages want to come through. Repeat, rinse, cycle. That's right. But it's not like that forever. It's just those stubborn stains, right, that we're not able to get out. The universe is like, I can get that out. Like, just stay in the washing machine until it's clean, until it's done, until you're clear. Take the attempting to distract and taint the space as a sign that what you're saying and doing is love-based, high vibe, and attracts the negativity to try to infiltrate because the space is pure. Oh yeah, I do. Thank you, Dustin. This is a pure space, and this is a safe space, and we like to keep it that way. So thank you again, Dustin and Amy. And Jess isn't here as far as I know, but she's another one of the moderators that really help keep this space pure and clean and clear. So I know it can be a lot of work because we are all empaths, energetically sensitive, and we can absorb other people's energies if we're not careful. But I think that we've gone through so much that even that isn't having the same impact on us as it once did, because we're not carrying our pain, and we're having more ability to have compassion for those who act out, lash out, only seeing that that's the angry beast within, that they deny access to healing. See, we have more people in here. Hello. All right. I had all intentions to start doing the zodiac readings this weekend, and of course the intentions were pure. The energy wasn't quite there for me yet, but it will come. So maybe I will pull a card for each zodiac sign. Sun sign. We're gonna do sun. Okay, thank you. Hi, Darren. So this is what we're gonna do. We're going to pull one card for each sun sign. Again, take only what resonates for you. Leave the rest. And yeah, let's just see what comes through. Yes, Willow Pillow. Dustin and Amy, mods are doing a great job at holding the field. Absolutely. I didn't even say the sign. Let's start again. I'm going to stop looking at the chat now. Okay. Let's start off with Aries. We'll start off with fire. Should we do each sun sign or do we do elements? What are you guys feeling? Sun sign or elements? I could do elements and I could go a little longer on each element. Pull a couple cards. Because if I do each zodiac, we could be here for a couple hours. I'm hearing elements. So we'll do that. Yeah, elements. Thank you. Yes, elements. Okay. So we're going to start off with the fire signs. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. What message do you have for the fire signs? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Oh, this takes me way back to the Facebook Live times that I used to go on Facebook Live back in 2020 during COVID. And I would do readings for the elements. So interesting. All right. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. What do we have for the fire signs? Same card that wanted to come out, and now in reverse, the Hermit. All right. Fire signs. Do we have any other cards before we get into this? Fire signs, you may have a little extra. Yeah. There's. All right, one more. Okay. This is just, again, take what resonates for you, leave the rest. You may still have a little bit more to pay attention to when it comes to the fire that's within. And we have the Hermit in reverse. So you're ignoring the signs of like slowing down and going within when they arise, because you're so used to being in charge and in control of everything. You might want to take a look at some of your patterns. It could be, well, we don't want to say that. They're saying control freak, but not not in a bad way. It's just it's a habit, it's a pattern that it's running in the operating system. And there may be little hints. They could be subtle cues to slow down and go within, but you're not hearing them, you're not seeing them because you're going too fast. You're trying to control that which you cannot control. Temperance in reverse as well. Trying to control something that you are not able to control. So slow down, take a breath, take a beat. Temperance in reverse. Allow things to come back into balance within you. You may be giving too much or doing too much for others. I'm hearing that too. This Cancer moon may be bringing out the need to take care of others or nurture others a little bit too much. 3 of Cups in reverse. It's something that's naturally instilled within you, yet pay attention to what your body says. The body always tends to speak to us, and then we're like, oh, okay, I have a headache or something like that, or just the nervousness, restlessness, anxiety. So the advice here is to really slow down. You're not in control, and the more you slow down and pay attention and you're present, you don't have to do everything for everybody. But the more you do, you're going to pick up on all the subtleties, the subtle messages and cues and clues that are being placed right in front of you that you might miss because you're going in your robotic fashion. Yeah. All right. That resonated for some of you guys. All right. Let's get into, what do I want to do next? Water. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. What message do we have for water signs? Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. And remember that these readings, these energies are lasting. The effects of the full moon are not just on the full moon. They affect us days before and days after. So it's important to, again, if it doesn't resonate right now, maybe just place it in your back pocket and see what arises in the next few days. All right, water signs. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. King of Cups, like it. This speaks to me of, Ten of Swords. Really getting a handle on your emotions, emotional regulation, emotional intelligence. Yes. Okay. So there's something, water signs, that may be coming up for you when it comes to not feeling like you're connecting to others, or feeling disconnected, or feeling separate from others, feeling all alone in something. No matter, and it's a repeating pattern. It arises from time to time. It's not always, but it's like that sensation of like you're having a conversation with somebody and all of a sudden, and say it's like through text message, the worst form of communication. And suddenly like they stop, like you got ghosted. It appeared to be that you got ghosted. This is just an example that they're showing me. And suddenly you're like, did I say something? Did I do something? You know, you take it back on yourself. It's an old trigger, an old pattern that is showing itself to you again. But the King of Cups is here to say, you know what? I actually, first I honor that which is within me, the inner child that may still have this old story linked to it. This old story of I'm unworthy, I'm unlovable, I can't connect to anybody, I'm a weirdo, I'm too much, I feel too much, I sense too much. But, and that's in the head, right? There's the Ten of Swords right there. But you've got your emotions in check. You're paying attention to what's going on in the record keeper of the mind, right? And the record player, and the loops, the feedback loops that continuously loop around when you feel like there's nobody around that you can connect to. Or if you do have people that you can connect to, but they're not available to you at that time, you've got to regulate your own emotions. Maybe you had an upheaval of emotions and you wanted, you want somebody, you want to remember that there's somebody out there that gets you or can hear you, and they're not available to you. This is a test. This is only a test, they're saying. And you have passed justice. Justice. You are able to see beyond the illusion of the mind and the stories of the mind. And again, this is bringing such great balance not just within you, you have a ripple effect that affects others. This is a major arcana that brings balance to the whole. And then you start to realize, Princess of Cups below that maybe they get back to you. I'm sorry, I got pulled off in work or something like that, and you already know it. You realize it. But good job. Good job, water signs. I'm hearing. So just know it's only a test, and you're in charge. You're in charge of the emotional intelligence that lives within you, and that is what's the driving force here. So I love it. I love this message for you. These are great messages so far. Who's next? Earth or air? I'm feeling earth. Earth. Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Earth signs. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Slowing it down. Boy, that water signs one got me revved up a little bit. All right. What do we have for Earth? Earth signs, are you there? There we go. Okay. Okay. All right. Earth signs. All right, Earth signs. This message has to do with the Emperor. You being in control, or feeling the need to be in control of other people, of yourself. This energy I'm feeling with the Five of Cups in reverse, you're not allowing yourself to really, you've had pain and sadness and loss, disappointment, regrets, but it's almost like you brush beyond it. Your Emperor or masculine energy within, and this is not gender, there's something within that's still dominating and is telling you, like, it's no big deal, get over it, things happen. You're just not honoring your emotions is what I'm saying here. We do have the Hierophant, though, that's coming out. I feel that for the Earth signs I'm reading for right now, this is rooted so deeply in whether it be cultural, religious, traditional, dare I say patriarchal traditions, beliefs, thank you, beliefs that it's almost, you're not allowing yourself to feel deeply because there's a deep belief system within you that is telling you it's not safe. This is definitely this Cancer energy here. It's not safe, it's not mature, it's not I lose control when I get into my feelings, and I can't feel out of control. I don't want to appear to be out of control. Here we have the Queen of Wands is talking to me about appearances, how you appear. So it almost seems like there's still an egoic mechanism that's still in operating. Take it as it resonates, but the message here is to stop running away from your feelings and your what is arising for you from the moon. Stop trying to control yourself, control your emotions, and go there. Allow yourself to feel what it is that you deeply feel, because that is the cleansing, healing element that is needed here. You will see that you can trust your emotions. You can trust yourself when you do. There's a lot of important things there for you to go into, because it feels like you're telling yourself it's not a big deal, but really deep inside there's a wounded aspect of you that is screaming, it is a big deal. I want you to let me out, let me feel, let me express. So that's for the earth signs. Okay. Last but not least, we have the air signs. Libra, Aquarius, Sagittarius. Wait. Not Sagittarius. Why am I blanking out on air signs? That's so interesting. The mind. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. I do know these things. Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini, air signs. What is the message for you? Are you blanking out on things? Are you overthinking? Are you trying to be perfect? Air signs. We have the Fool, the first card out. Okay. Do you trust yourself? Do you trust what's arising? Do you trust your feelings? Do you trust your desires, your hopes, your dreams? Oh, this is the energy of like jumping in without thinking about it first, trusting the unknown, taking a leap of faith. Life is an adventure. It is like, just go for it. But 10 of Cups in reverse, you're overthinking something. You're not allowing yourself to feel what it is that your heart desires. What is that? Yeah, there we go. Overthinking. Got it. Oh, okay. So there's a lot going on, air signs, within you. Overall, we have Judgment as the overall energy here. Something is calling you. Da, da, da. Wake up call. Trying to wake up. Time to dust yourself off. Unchain yourself from your overthinking mind. Get back into your heart. It was so interesting how I blanked out on the Gemini. Maybe some of the Geminis can resonate. There's a part of you within you that has been blocking you, stopping you from even going into imagination, feeling what it is that your heart desires, feeling that fulfillment, that overflowing love and happiness and joy. Probably because it doesn't feel safe. It seems irresponsible, the fool, right? But you have this in you. I feel like I'm talking to a Gemini. This is for the air signs, but this is Gemini energy, yin yang, like yes, no, yes, no. What do you revert back to? Or maybe during certain cycles, you actually are all in, free flowing, footloose and fancy free. I'm hearing a free bird. And then other times you're like, no, that's not the responsible thing to do. I need to sit down and contemplate and think about this for a while. I got to talk about it with other people. I got to get their opinions in on it, right? But something's shifting and changing within you. This is the judgment call is coming down pretty hard and heavy, so you can't ignore it, right? What is it that keeps you from just being free? It's the mind. It's the need to get other people involved. It's the need to get other people's opinions involved. This is your life path. Of course, we want to honor where everybody else is. Maybe you're a family person. You've got to, like, we do have to take everybody's stuff into consideration. Maybe that's what this is. But with 10 of Cups in reverse, I think you go a little overboard there. What is it that you're feeling? Maybe you're doing too much for others and you're thinking about others way too much and not yourself. And this is your turn to give something to yourself. Give that speaks to you, happiness, joy. Maybe it's just music. Maybe there's like certain music you love to listen to, but your partner hates it. And so find, get in your car by yourself and blast that music. That's just a small little minute example, but it can be in any form, from grandiose to the little things. So that's the message I have for the air signs. Spot on, says Amy. Been working on not caring so much about what others think of me. And there's that working on, right? It's a realization. There we go. The judgment can also be sudden realization of like, you know what? Why am I always doing that? And when you ask that question, you will be shown little glimpses of your past as to why we have these like patterns, right? And that's a nice opening to allow. Then it's a choice. Do I allow myself to continue with this pattern? Once you're aware of a pattern, by the way, it's really hard to continue with it if it's self-sabotaging. Eventually, it starts to dissolve on its own. It takes a new form. So, let's get one more card for us all from the Oracle of the Seven Energies to complete this full moon in Cancer. I'm going to call it a circle. I'm going to envision that we're all in a circle holding hands. And maybe just take a moment to like connect with your heart, connect with your breath, connect with your feelings. What is arising? What emotions are arising? And can we visualize a world, a life, an experience of peace and love and freedom, and get excited for coming closer and closer together? You can really see, 10 years ago, we wouldn't have even had these interactions, right? We can see that it is picking up. Consciousness is changing. We are coming closer together. So let's just take a deep breath in, breathing in new energy, hold it, and on the exhale, we're going to release all the stale old energy. And something just came to me, and this is pretty relevant to most of us, but I don't know how many of you know, I work with an autistic man. He's 24, but he's like a 4-year-old in a 24-year-old body. He is verbal, but which is helpful because he's teaching me how to read what he's actually saying. So the other morning, I was working with him, and he sometimes will come in with a repetitive loop of something. And usually his mother doesn't drop him off, but that morning she happened to. And it's always good that the caretaker brings him instead of the mom because of their close connection. But anyway, he was repeatedly talking about an incident in the past that he did something that got him in trouble, that was not, it wasn't loving or caring. And he's a sweetheart. He's a loving, caring person, but he does get swept away in other people's energies, and he doesn't know it. I'm trying to teach the parents this. So with this repetitive loop, it clicked. He's trying to express what it is that he's feeling. The energy wave that came into him that morning was an energy that he didn't feel that he could control himself. I don't know if I'm going to be able to control myself. Remember the time, because he starts off, remember the time I poured gasoline all in the garage? That happened years ago, but he was remembering it, saying it over and over again. And I said, it has nothing to do with that. And then when I broke the code, he started talking about, remember the YMCA and why I can't go to the YMCA. So there were 2 incidences with the same energy, and it was just like confirming, because he confirmed what I was picking up to be able to communicate to his parents. What he's really trying to say is, I'm feeling out of control right now. And the only way I can verbalize that is a memory. This is how we all operate, by the way. A memory, a flash came up like, last time I felt this way, this is what I did. Hi, Tori. Happy New Year. So I hope that helps anybody out there who gets a little confused as to waves of energy and how they can take over us and bring flashes of memory into our mind. That's how we all operate. It's just that those who aren't able to articulate or communicate exactly what they're feeling, the only thing that he could explain was the memory of the last time he felt that way. Anyway, let's get one final card for us all. Wait, what's Darren saying? Okay. All right, I'm going to get back into reading mode here. I'm so happy that we've got a lot of supportive members of the family here to really help hold hands and support one another through these switchbacks. We think we're climbing a mountain, and we are, but there's switchbacks that go this way and that way. And sometimes, even though we are elevating, sometimes it looks like we're going back down, because we do. Sometimes we do have to go back down. Yes, acceptance before surrender. That's beautiful. One little drop in the ocean. Acceptance. Acceptance of what happened, what is. And that's where we get stuck in suffering, is when we cannot accept what is or what was. We cannot, we hold on, we cling on, we want answers. We want justice. I remember I was stuck in this remember when I was talking the last live about Lot's wife and how they were all having to, I don't know the whole story, but they were leaving and she kept turning back, could not go forward, and got turned to stone. You get stuck in a place when you're not able to accept. And nothing is permanent, but we have to accept what is and what happened and allow for that's surrender, really, truly. Allow for allow for your natural energy to come back. Give yourself love, give yourself acceptance, give yourself grace and forgiveness. And eventually, the freedom starts to arise. You feel lighter, feel more at home within self. All right. One final message for us all. Right, Willow Pillow. Fear and anger are great places to be and to learn from, but just not to learn not to stay there. Exactly. And we can get stuck staying there. I was stuck in anger for such a long time. And I'm not gonna lie, there still are times where I get triggered just to remind me, like, oh yeah, that pisses me off, but it's in and out. I'm not stuck there. I'm not stuck with a story or the need for justice and the need for answers. And I mean, I used to demand the guides. And of course, I would get no response at all, crickets, because I'm not in the energy of even receiving guidance or support or assistance when I'm seeing red myself. But they do come through other people. Final message for us all. Oh, we have two. Ooh, I don't think I've ever seen this card before. So we have great big love. We may read that, but this one is important. This one is speaking to me. A powerful move. I swear to you, I've had this deck forever. I don't think I've ever pulled this card. So let's see what it says. Interesting. I might be reading these in reverse, but the time for rest is over. Change is in the air. This is a powerful time when deliberate action is needed to move your intentions out of the realm of thought and into the material, from ideas to action. How do you approach your relationship to the invisible world as it influences the visible? Do you see the relationship? Do you recognize yourself as a unique, whole, and worthy being who has a special place in the world, whose offerings are valuable, and whose life has meaning? You are a mighty co-creator, so step into that power and see your intentions manifest in the world. Real positive change is possible when you make choices from an authentic sense of self and take a conscious step towards your dreams. To take steps towards your intended experience, start first with the way you think. Let curiosity be the focus now, and display a willingness to discover new things instead of confirming your past expectations. Be open, be clear about your motives and desires, and set your intention. Then step into the magic, just waiting for you to claim it. Traveling, moving, flowing, flying, whatever describes the changes in your life, know that these are called for now. Act with thoughtfulness and awareness, and remember to be true to yourself. What is called for now is doing the thing that needs to be done. All will be better than well. What an exciting time indeed. I think you're right, Amy. So let's read A Great Big Love. And you know, we like to think about the big moves. I think a lot of us have been sitting in the energy of releasing, of shedding the snakeskin, so to speak, the past. What it is that we think we are meant to be doing may not be what we came here to do. So it's important to really tap in and what are you passionate about? What are you truly passionate about? I will say that I never in a million years thought that going through opioid addiction in my past would be something I'd even talk about. The shame, the embarrassment, all of that. But that hell, that struggle, and overcoming it, to recognize what others are experiencing, to know firsthand what it's like, grew a fire within me. It brought something to the forefront of you've overcome something that you can now be a source of support and love and compassion to others, and not be judgmental whatsoever, but also an inspiration to this is possible for you. This is possible for anyone. All right, so number 26, great big love. What our biggest challenges in life are also our destiny. What we overcome, what we move through, and we get to the other side of becomes a passion to be of help and support for others going through exactly what we went through. Amy says, share a smile with at least one person every day. A day without laughter is like a day wasted. I agree. I agree. All right, last message. Great big love. Love heals all wounds, begins all life. It sustains you when you're starving for grace, when you stumble and fall, and when you lose sight of your purpose and fall prey to the limited perspective of the ego. Now is the time to fall in love and call in the awareness of the great big love that made you, which is ever pulsing through your veins. There's a heightened sense of awareness in the beginning stages of a relationship when nothing else matters but who is in front of you. You see them, you see yourself in them, and you move in sync with the cadence of your hearts. You surrender to the magic you share and engage in a harmonious dance that is seamless in its movements, rising and falling with each moment, each breath. Although this card may portend such an intimate connection, you don't have to wait for a partner to experience it. You're being invited now to explore love in all its beauty. Can you love without conditions, without needing things to be perfect? Do you love your life, what you do, and how you contribute to the world? Today, invite love with a capital L into your inquiry. You will be amazed, and your very question may be changed as a result. Love is the strength you need today, the lens you must look through to find the truth and your way. Love is the way, and the only answer. And that's so true. Our perception of love has been so distorted in the human vocabulary that we don't understand it all the way. But love is authenticity. It is honoring your emotions. It is honoring your journey. It is honoring yourself. It is recognizing that we are all part of the same source. We all have the same source of life force running through our veins, keeping us breathing and communicating and acting and being these avatars here on this planet. We all come from the same source, which is love, unconditional love. And we need more of that in this world, a lot more to recognize and to wake up to the truth of that. But we have to give it to ourselves first. We really do. Yeah, we can confuse attachment to some, yep. We can confuse attachment to someone or something with love, yes. It is. It's because even as children, we're told, I love you, but we're not shown love all the way because it's so tremendously distorted. To recognize also that our parents were doing the best that they could with what they knew and what they had been given. So this is generational. And we can stop that pattern. We can stop that pattern now and break the chains that have kept us stuck and stagnant and in conditional love, distorted love. It has nothing to do with that. It's something that was sold to us through Disney and romance novels and TV and propaganda. So the unseen forces are much more powerful than the seen. Absolutely. Absolutely. 1000%. So let's just take that all in and give ourselves love, unconditional love. Remember that we are a powerful force, but our power has been distorted and we're getting it back slowly but surely. And that we can also radiate that energy out into the field that connects us all. I think we're going to end it there. But thank you all so much for being here. That's right. Love is the answer. Yep. Thank you all for being here and connecting with each other, connecting with all of us across the globe. I appreciate you all so much, and I'm sending you all so much love. Take care. Bye. Happy full moon, everybody. Bye.